Do you remember the devastating floods in Nigeria, which displaced millions of people and killed hundreds more? So, what caused this devastating flood and many others? What is the root problem? To fully comprehend, we need to understand the context in which Warri was founded. Let's go back in time. Back in 1893, Warri was chosen as the British colonial administrative headquarters for the western Niger Delta. The city was founded in a flood-prone mangrove swamp terrain. Areas in Warri were served by roadside open gutters and by natural gravity flow to drain storm runoff to natural drainage sinks. In 1897, the British defeated the Kingdom of Benin, which led to local mercantile traders relocate to Warri, boosting its populations in this swampland terrain. In the 1970s, natural gas and petroleum deposits were discovered in Warri. This localized economic boom led to rapid urban growth, which was led by workers and nearby communities seeking to improve their living standards. Upon 1980s, property shielding adaptation measures kept floodwaters out of homes due to a stable climate. This led to government flood control measures and institutions to become dysfunctional. By the 1980s, urban planning and development control had weakened. Rapid urban growth and lack of land in flood-free areas led to illegal structures and emergence of informal settlements in flood-prone swamplands, as well as indiscriminate refuse dumps. From around when natural gas and petroleum was discovered, population growth skyrocketed from 50,000 people in 1960 to 300,000 by 2006. The built-up area also skyrocketed. From 1986 to 2006, built-up area had increased by 66.7%, with over 50% occurring in flood-prone areas. Let's now fast forward back to the Nigerian floods in 2012 and try to identify the underlying causes. The main underlying causes for recurring floods in Warri are geography, climate change, rapid urban growth, poor governance, and deficient planning and infrastructure. Geography. Warri was founded in a mangrove swampland area which lacked suitable soil for hazard-free building and development. As it is, Warri is only 10 meters above sea level. Climate change adds more energy into the system, which leads to what already is intense rainfall. The geographic location of Warri and extreme weather events increases the vulnerability towards flooding, and hence it is up to improve resilience and adaptive capacity to respond to climate change. Rapid urban growth and a lack of planning has led to built-up areas to expand into floodwater storage zones and for informal settlements to develop in natural drainage sinks, impacting on the infrastructure. Nigeria has little regard for rule of law, and it is a highly corrupted country, leading to poor governance and lax implementation of effective development planning regulations. When urban growth skyrocketed, the government was highly unprepared and overestimated the city's capacity, leading to built-up areas to expand into reclaimed land. The last underlying cause is the existing but deficient infrastructure. There is inadequate drainage facilities, rubbish is disposed on drainages, and roads and building infrastructure blocks natural drainage floods. Now, let's go and look at the consequences of all these flood events. Impacts of flood events can be categorized under three dimensions: economic, social, and environmental. Economic impacts range from damage to property to destruction of crops and loss of livestock. Social consequences range from loss of human life to a high disruption of day-to-day activities and deterioration of health conditions due to waterborne diseases. Lastly, environmental impacts range from downstream water quality, loss of habitats and ecosystems, release of pollutants, and loss of wetland functions. The degree of impact on all three dimensions depends greatly on the geographical location and intensity of rainfall. The exposure and sensitivity of the natural and built environment will ultimately determine the vulnerability of the system towards flood events. So, who is involved? Before and after and during the flood events, there are many that can contribute somehow.
Created using Powtoon.